Hello world, my name's Jason and this is my abandoned school. I bought this school to renovate and live in, and there are a lot of expensive issues. So today we're going to look at all the expensive issues that we know of and possibly more in the future. Stay tuned. So we're going to start on the outside. The house has 120 windows that need to be replaced. Every single painted surface also is flaking or cracking and needs to be addressed. Some of it's pretty bad on the front. So moving on to the inside, most of the damage is limited to the second floor. So every room, the outside perimeter wall will have a hole or some sort of moisture. So these are all the different bedrooms that have peeling paint, hole in the ceiling. Some of them have warped floors, but most of them aren't as critical because the actual floor of the house is made out of concrete. So the wood is just superficial. Here are some more ceilings. Here's one of the rooms that's still actively leaking. You can see water just dripping out of the ceiling here, which isn't great. So I actually went up on the roof after this to take a look, and there was pooling water. Here's a picture of some of that pooling water in the box cutters upstairs. More damage onto the walls and more ceiling holes coming up. I also know this isn't particularly a problem, but I have 28 miniature toilets I need to get rid of, which can't really be used by anybody else aside from small children. But almost every single bathroom has at least one or two small toilets. So if you know anyone that needs any toilets, have them message me because I got a plethora of them. Moving to the third floor, we have some stairwell flaking paint, which just looks superficial. There's tons of paint flaking off of everywhere else, probably because it was government work. We have a ladder falling down from the attic area, and then we have flaking paint on our skylights. But the biggest problems are probably going to be seen in the mechanical room. Here you can see me sampling some paint, making sure it's lead free. Here's some other toilets that have broken. This one actually, the trap has snapped, so I don't know how that happened. Here's some more flaking from the walls. Dark in here, but I'm not sure if you see that spot in the ceiling there. You see a hole, but it's a very interesting sized hole. And the reason for that is this piece of iron from part of a heating pipe shot straight through it at some point. I'm glad I wasn't here for that, but still, pretty wild. Through here, when that tile fell down, and I got hit in the head with one of these. So these, I guess, are pipe tees. I guess that one's a different one. These two go together like that. And as you see up there, it's kind of hard to see. That is missing from there. And that other one is missing from right there. Here's a better shot of those broken tees. I don't know how this even happened. They must have frozen and just cracked right off. Half of that is still up there. Um, Pretty much most of the radiators on this floor have also frozen, so that's going to be an issue. Here's another shot of a radiator on the ground that has just cracked off. Probably safe to say that all these radiators back here are probably busted. Radiators literally in every room, so they're probably all busted. I'm in the utility room, and I'm not sure if you can see, there's daylight coming out of this fan and daylight coming out of this side. So basically this entire utility room has been the same temperatures outside the whole time. So this is cracked. This boiler, I'm not sure. I was able to drain some water out of, but not great. I think it might be damaged. There's a huge bend in the door. One of our water heaters is missing, but you can see here's a shark bite fitting, and that's where it blew off of. So that probably isn't great. And then over here, this is our water meter, and our water meter has a massive crack down the side there. So whenever you open this valve, a bunch of water just leaks out of here. Oh yeah, it's still going. Yeah, that is definitely not normal for all that water to come out of here. The rest of the house probably has a bunch more frozen pipes that I just haven't discovered, and the entire house will most likely need to be replumbed. But the basement also needs new paint. I was able to get some drone shots of the roofs, and it seems like all of these chimneys need to be repointed. In all of these pictures, you can see cracking, and I know the rear one, water is getting in because you can see it in the wall. This one in the front is probably one of the worst ones, aside from the one that's easy access, but that one's easy. The roof actually looks okay. There is some pooling water on here, but I was told that was normal. Maybe someone else can comment. These are the gutters when I got the place. They were filled with leaves and they would not drain at all. So I had to scoop these out and I wasn't even able to make a video before this because it was causing so much damage. Hey guys, so I know everyone watching is interested in like what the plans are for the house, but really there are no concrete plans right now. I mean, it could be Airbnb, I could move my family in, I could, move some of my friends in. I'm not really sure right now. I'm open to suggestions. But right now, I think the main priorities really are getting the roof, the gutter, and the water and the heating fixed. Once that's done, I think we can really entertain some other ideas. I will be attempting a lot of the work myself. I know some people ask that, and I just grew up that way. We grew up really poor. So basically, if you couldn't do it, you wouldn't survive. So if I do learn any tips and tricks on the way, I'll be sharing that with the community. I am also trying to get in contact with a couple former students and a couple teachers that used to teach at this school to try to get maybe like an interview or some documentation on what it was like back then, the history of the school. So I'll be probably putting out an episode separately, probably on Fridays, because I want Mondays to be mostly for the house. Fridays, I'll probably add, a couple episodes about the history of the house, the layout. And I know some of you guys were asking about the finances as well. I will be putting out another episode regarding the finances of how much I paid for it, how much I'm planning on paying to get it renovated, and all the other associated fees. If you made it this far, thank you so much. This is like my second video ever, really first time on camera, and I really do appreciate it. I know there's a lot of criticism. My camera work is terrible. I know my editing is really bad, but I'm trying to make every episode better than the last one. So if you could bear with me, I really do appreciate that. And if you like content like this and you want me to make more and you want to follow our journey, feel free to subscribe to us. And then also, I would really appreciate it if you also hit the like. So thank you, and I'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye.